Hello, 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 everyone. This is your kind hostess, Cindy Placide. Welcome, welcome to a special segment on poetry and perspective with Placide. And tonight, we're going to be looking at things from a different perspective. We're also going to have some really good information and really great advice and suggestions to give to you, the viewers. Before we continue, Before I continue with this, along with my guests, if you know anyone who is an author or who is aspiring to become an author or writer, whatever field, I urge you to reach out to that person and have them log into this live because it's going to be very impactful. Okay? So, once again, I am your kind hostess, Cindy Placid. Now I'm getting my groove. Okay? I'm getting my groove. I'm your kind hostess, Cindy Placid. I'm from the beautiful Caribbean island of St. Lucia. I am an author, a poet, advocate. I advocate for mental health, illness, and suicide prevention. I advocate for autism. I advocate for dwarfism. I also bring awareness to so many different causes, including domestic violence and pregnancy and childbirth, cervical cancer, just name it. As long as it is an issue that matters to other people, it matters to me as well. Okay, so tonight I have with me in my studio a very dear friend of mine, of course, a former classmate. I'm sure you guys have seen him on here as well. He's an award-winning children book author, and he's from the beautiful island of St. Lucia as well. And Baptist here is here with me today because we have an important message to you, the viewers. So without further ado, let me bring him in. And it's going to be a roles will be reversed today, okay? So say hello to Baptist, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
How are
How's
you doing
everyone?
today, Baptist?
Oh, I'm good. I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing now that I have already calmed down.
Okay, all right. Remember, we talked about, I just want you to breathe a little bit tonight
Yes,
because some
yes,
of the subject we're going to talk about will be a little bit heavy. And we'll still try to bring a little bit of humor into it, right?
absolutely.
We'll try.
Yes,
All right. So you said the rules are reversed, right?
yes, they are reversed today.
Explain to the viewer what does that mean?
Well, guys, usually I'm the one who's asking the question, and I'm the one who's doing all the talking. Most well, I guess do the talking. But today, I'm gonna be in the other seat. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be answering the questions, having a decent conversation with Baptist. Is gonna pair into me and something that I explained to him. And as of us in the literary world together, I think it's only fair that the two of us came here from the same country with the same aspirations, authors, and to talk about it. But who better is to talk to me about this and to have that conversation with me than Mr. Baptist Paul himself?
All right. Sounds good. That's quite the honor, right? I appreciate the honor. And yeah, so I don't want to steal the show or steal your thunder tonight. It's all about you. The audience knows who I am. I write books for children. I'm an award winning author. I travel a lot all around the world to do offer presentations, and I am never in one place more than 2 weeks at a time. I am always on the go, and it's the best job in the world where I get to inspire so many kids around the world. So maybe I'm gonna just do my only thing I'm gonna do for myself is my only selfless promotion right now. I'm gonna do. If you need an author to come to your school, I do have a booking agent. Nothing in this life is free, because I put a lot of work into my craft, and I want to put out, the best materials out there for children. And I want all kids to be able to see themselves represented in the pages of books. So feel free to connect with Cindy and or go online, go to my website, baptistpaul.net, and send me a contact because I'd love to come to your school and connect you with my booking agent. No matter where you are in the world, Baptist will travel as long as it's about inspiring kids to read, write, and the love for reading. and writing. I'm all about that because once you have those gifts and those talents in life, you gotta go a long, long way. So this is my only selfish promotion tonight. That's it, none more. But it's all
It
about you.
was well. It was well worth it.
It was all good. Yeah. All right, cool. So shall we begin?
Absolutely.
All right, you ready? So
Yes. So
first,
before we continue, let me say hello to my viewers. I know some people who are watching us now. To all of my viewers who are listening, I want to say welcome to all of you and sit tight because we are about to delve into something very, very, very important.
and
Pay
if anyone
attention.
asks about my cup, tell them my son made my cup for me.
Oh, they heard you. Okay.
Good, all positive island vibes tonight. So, all
Yes.
right, shall we begin?
Yes.
All right. We've known each other for a while, a
Absolutely.
very long time. Grew up in the village of Grace together. Went to school together, and you're one of those people who we stay in touch quite a bit, and you reach out to me with questions about the publishing industry because it's a field that I know pretty well, and you reach out to me. So, can you tell the audience just a little bit more about you, your books, what you've written, and how did you get there?
Well, for those of you who have not been present on my show and who don't know who I am a published author, three-time published author of three poetry books. One of the books is an autobiography in poetry, and it's entitled When Life Stood in Silence, and this is my baby. Okay. And I got into writing because I back in school, in secondary school, I was always fond of the literary arts. I wanted to be an actress actually. And so I decided, okay, well, when I came to the United States, I was following my dream in the literary world. But then I came to realize that poetry was my thing. So I started writing poems. I wrote poems way back in St. Lucia, but when I came up here, after trials and tribulations and so many other things that happened to me, I decided to put all my emotions, everything that I was facing, into my first book of poem entitled When Life Stood in Silence.
All right, perfect. So the audience got a little glimpse of who you are and and the kind of books you write, like poetry books, which is all cool. And I do have a copy of one of your books here with me. Um, so my next question for you tonight is: can you tell the audience why are we here tonight? Why did you need this special segment to be aired tonight? Why are we here?
In short,
In short,
very briefly, I was scammed by someone posing as a literary agent in the literary industry,
that's just in short.
in short.
Can you repeat that again for the members of the audience so they can really get a gist of exactly what you just said?
I was scammed by someone in the literary industry posing as a very reputable literary agent. I was scammed out of money, and that person was trying to get hold of my work.
Okay. So, how were you contacted?
Well, this person contacted me via telephone, and it was about 2 years ago. That person contacted me and said, hey, we got your book from the Book Scouts, and your book has very high ratings on Amazon, 5-star ratings, and we're really interested in your book, in putting your book in one of our bookstores in the United States. So I said, oh, okay, well, that sounds like a good idea. I give them a little hassle before I could say yes, because I was always checking to see if this was okay, if that was okay, if that was a real, person and stuff like that. And so she contacted me, and then after a couple of months of back and forth, I agreed to allow her to put my book in that bookstore in New Jersey, but I had to pay a fee to do that. So I paid that fee, and my book got into the book in New Jersey through that supposed literary agent.
How did you know it got there?
because she sent me pictures of the book in the bookstore. She sent me pictures, and I also called the bookstore directly, and they did send me photos of the book, and they did tell me that the 5 books that I sent to the bookstore was at the store.
Okay. All right. So, Cindy, last summer, I received an exciting phone call from you. I was out, doing my thing, and you blew up my phone like you were so excited. Can you tell the audience why you called me last summer and the news that you got? Can you share with the audience what that was about?
Well, I got Baptist, and I was walking literally on the side of the road. I called Baptist, and I said, Baptist, listen, I got a call from my literary agent, got a deal for me in one of the top publishing companies for a book deal. And that book deal was worth a free finger, not free finger, sorry, free figure.
A free
Okay.
figure sum.
Free figure sum, yes. And so I called him. I was all excited as because I know he was in the industry. I said, that's the first person I'm going to talk to about it. So I called him and I told him about it. He checked out the checked out the company, and I said that's one of the top. I think that you said the top two or top three. I couldn't remember what you said, and
Absolutely. I
that got me even more excited.
Yeah. Because the letter you sent me, I just
Yeah,
read the letter and I said, wow, that's pretty cool. It's one of the top 3 companies in the country. So that's pretty neat, right? I'm
yes.
like, wow, someone, my homegirl, someone from back on the island is like finally like breaking it through in this industry and doing something super duper awesome. And her books are gonna hit the airwaves and the bookshelves. And she has a positive message to share. So keep going. I'm listening.
So I sent you the message, and fast forwarding, we talked about so many things that I told you how, oh my gosh, Baptist, this is going to change my life. I'm going to be able to give back to the community. I'm going to be able to invest. And then you gave me some really good tips as to when I do get the money, you how I need to go about doing it and the steps that I needed to take. It was really, really exciting for me because I saw how this was going to change my life. I have been in this country for 24 years. And 24 years, I have been struggling. And I keep things to myself a lot. I always laugh a lot. And I've been struggling. And I thought this was going to be my opportunity to be seen, to get my message out there, for my books to be all around the world, and for me to change my quality of life, and for myself and for my children.
Okay. So I thought when you sent it to me, like, wow, I was really happy for you. And I told you congratulations. And I think we left it at that, right? At that point.
Yes.
So I told you what you needed to do. But they did request a few things from you. What did
Yes.
they request from you?
So they requested a number of things from me. First, I had to I sent them, they wanted me to pay for a global announcement seal.
How much did that cost you?
That cost me like about $1,000.
Okay, $1,000. Okay.
Yes. So I did not have the money. I went about asking everybody for help, including you. I said, this is my opportunity. I am going to, by all means possible, make it happen, because I know if I can get that deal, then I could do so many things. I can give back to people. I can pay things that I owe. I could do a lot with it. So I'm the type of person, when I put my mind to something, I do it. So I said, I am going to get this done. I'm going to get that deal. And I worked hard. I begged who I had to beg. I sacrificed where I had to. I paid $1,000 for that global seal. Then I was asked to provide a query letter to the company. I had to pay for that as well. I was asked to to provide my chapter outline, my synopsis, um, and in-depth review, development, editing, and the chapter outline. I had to pay for all of that.
So how much money are you in the hole right now?
Almost $3,000.
Almost $3,000.
Mhm.
Do you remember the conversation we had when that came up, and what did I say to you?
Yes, I had already paid them a lot of money. So you said to me, Cindy, this looks like a scam. This, when I sent you the letters, you said to me, this does not look right. I would just stop talking to him, but the lady kept calling,
And you kept responding.
and I kept responding to her. She had given me a date. After everything was done, she said to me, the final thing we had to do was to come to New York, pay the lawyer's fee, and come to New York. She gave me the date to sign the contract.
Remember, we had a conversation about, I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
if the publisher reaches out and they want to publish your book, they will not
Mhm.
ask you to put money out up front to pay for any of those stuff. That they are going to do it yourself.
Mhm.
Caution, audience members,
Mhm.
users, our viewers tonight. If a reputable publishing company reaches out to you to publish your book, or an agent or an editor finds your work someone they want to work with you, they will not ask you for money. Okay, it should be the other way around. All right,
Mhm.
just remember that you
Yes.
should be paid for your work. You should not be paying other people for your work unless you want to go down the route of self-publishing. Okay, I am not in that field, and I'm not gonna say I am like very versed or knowledgeable in the self-publishing world, because this is something that I personally will not do, because it does not fit my brand and what I do. Self-publishing, okay? I
Mhm.
rather get paid for my work, and
Mhm.
I get royalties and all of that good stuff, and I get to see the world travel, and the publisher covers it. These are the things that the publishers will do for you. So the red
Mhm.
flag is like, once people are starting to ask you for money, these are some of the telltale signs.
Mhm.
Something might not be right. Something is not legit about it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Can you read us a bit of that email letter you got from the quote unquote fake publisher trying to scam you?
Well, it went as like this. Um, Hatchet, oops, I said a word. The book group company. He said, I trust, Miss Placid, I trust this email finds you in good health. My name is so and so, and I am the executive director of this book group, overseeing the third largest publisher in the world. I am reaching out to you with exciting news regarding your books. When your book, sorry, When Life Stood in Silence. As we receive preliminary submission for your from your agent, the name is there, I'm not going to say it, and after careful consideration, the acquisition council has decided to proceed with acquiring your books for publication by the book group. I'm not going to say the name. We are pleased to offer you an acquisition fee of $282,000 with expected royalties, which will be released every quarter lifetime as a testament to our commitment to your work.
Okay.
And
Go
yes,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
and it went on to say, to streamline the acquisition, we recommend close collaboration with your literary agent. The name is, I won't say it. She's an esteemed literary manager, and blah blah blah. And it also said collaborating with WGA aligns experts align seamless with quality goals and goals we uphold at the whatever group. We look for the Writers Guild of America can assist you with the following materials: query letter, professional book review, comprehensive synopsis, press release, global announcements.
So that's
And
the
it's a long letter.
Yes, it's a very long letter. I didn't
Yes,
need you to read all of it. So that is
yes,
the information you got.
yes. And besides that information, I got a phone call from someone, a male, saying that he was the point of contact, the person who sent that letter. Yeah.
Uh, so all right, let's pause for a minute.
Hmm.
How you feeling right now?
A lot of emotions. A
What
lot
kind
of emotions.
what kind of emotions? What's the strongest one right now?
I feel a strong sense of betrayal. The reason why I said that, Baptist, because I had a level of trust with that person. Because remember in the beginning, I said this was the person who got my book into the bookstore in New Jersey.
Yes, you did say
There
that.
was evidence that this person worked with that bookstore. I spoke to the person myself, so I knew that that person, I was speaking to a real person, and that person was legitimately who they say they were. Okay, so that was confirmation for me. So I built a level of trust with that person, and that person and I have been speaking for almost 2.5 years.
So they're that dedicated, right? They're
Yes,
that determined to
yes,
steal people's money.
yes.
Once they got you on the hook, they are
Mm-hmm.
gonna do everything it takes to get your money.
Yes. Baptist, it was a roller coaster. The
Explain what
many
that means.
it was a roller coaster because the many times I said, I don't have the money, I cannot afford it. 2 months would pass, and then a phone call would come in. 3 days would pass, and a phone call would come in, and my answer was always, I don't have the money. I cannot afford it. And this lady would call. Sometimes she would be very disrespectful, and I had to put her in a place a couple of times. So when she realized that she was not gonna get me in one way, she used another way.
Can you explain what that means?
That means she couldn't have gotten me to pay for something because she had asked me to pay for something else, and I said no, I cannot, and I will not. She said, I think it was about I didn't tell you the part
No,
about
you didn't. So this is news to
some
me.
yes, some book. I forget the name of the book thing she said, and where all the books are going to be in the European countries, and my book is going to be showcased. Then we had to pay a certain amount of money, and my answer to her was, I have been telling you for months, I don't work, I don't have money. Where do you expect me to take that money from you?
Was that the Bologna Book Festival?
I think it was something like that, and I cannot remember.
Okay.
But it was somewhere in Europe. It was
No,
happening in Europe.
because
Yes.
I know the Bologna Book Festival happens in Italy every year.
Yes. Yes. So probably it was that. So I develop a level of trust for that person. Even when I was sick, she used to call and check on me.
Oh, she did.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I didn't want anything. I just wanted to check on you to make sure that you are doing okay. How was the children doing? This was somebody I had a rapport with. So she was patient enough because she wanted what she wanted. They wanted what they wanted because I don't believe she was working alone.
So you think there's a team of them?
Yes.
How many people you believe?
I believe there were like about five of them.
Five of them. Okay. So let me ask you, did you seek advice from anyone?
I did. I took advice from you. I called my cousin who had a friend. I spoke to her. And after I had realized that, I went to Writers Beware. That's where, they tell you about the different, people that are doing the wrong things in the industry. I did my research, Baptist. But what got me was the day that you told me, Cindy, this is a scam. That made me really, and I had paid a lot of money at that point already when I finally reached out to you. And I was like, let's see what happens with this.
I am sorry I had to crush this, like, because you were riding this high,
Yeah.
and I wanted you to stay riding this high.
Yes.
But you reached out for a specific reason, because you
Mm-hmm.
wanted my feedback, because you trust
Yes.
my input, because
Yes.
I'm in the writing industry. Okay. So I know the news that I was going to give you was not going to be the best news ever. You sent me the information, and I told you I will be back. I'm going to do some research, and I will come back and give you the information you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I remember the day when I told you it was a scam.
Mm-hmm.
You were crushed. I
Mm-hmm.
could see the life slowly get just like draining out of you. And
Yeah.
I felt so bad. But since you're a friend, someone who I respect a lot, like we grew up together, you know, you like my home girl on the island, and I value you. I believe like I had to, and it's my duty, you know. I am not saying like I'm a gatekeeper
Mm-hmm.
or anyone. I just want like my people on the island, like people who are trying to write, people
Mm-hmm.
who want to pursue a career in publishing. I want to give you all of the best information that I know and I have, because
Mm-hmm.
that's who I am. I want my people to succeed. And if I see some flaws, some issues with anything going on, I'm gonna tell you what is going on.
And I really did appreciate that. But at that time, I had paid so much money already, and they had given me a date for me to go to New York. I said, you know what? Let me see what's going to happen. But you know, Baptist, I'm not the type of person to back down from a challenge.
Who should, right? You
I
shouldn't.
don't back down. In a matter of fact, when you tell me no, you giving me a maze. Okay, this I have to search. Why is this happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I said, okay, Baptist has told me what this is. But something was telling me after they sent me that date in February from to go to New York to sign that contract of $282,000, I was still a bit skeptical. And then I started to get really depressed because I'm gonna, okay, this is a deal that's gonna happen for me. It looks it I understand what Baptist said, it's a scam, but why am I being drawn to go to this thing?
Why did you go to New York?
I wanted more than anything to believe that what I was seeing was not true. And something in me was telling me there was something bigger that I needed to find out. So I went and I wanted, honestly, to be honest with you, I really did say, okay, wait, okay, I want this to happen. God, I prayed about it. I asked you for direction. You directed me to go. You made it happen. Somebody paid my ticket to go to New York. Somebody paid my ticket. People believed in me. They paid my ticket. My friend paid my ticket for me to go to New York. I was supposed to have been signing a contract with that third largest traditional publishing company on the 6th and the 7th of March. I got to New York on the 2nd of March. And I was told that besides everything they had taken from me that I mentioned, I was told that I was going to have accommodation for my hotel for 2 nights. Okay. Then we were going to have, go through the contract signing, and then we were going to have interviews. Okay. So, these are things to get you excited, right?
Absolutely. They got you like hook, line, how they say it? Line, hook, sinker, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I went to New York, guys. I had no money. Somebody paid my ticket. I stayed at a friend's house for 2 days. And the day that the day before I was supposed to go to the hotel, I was calling the 336 or 326 number that they gave me for the office so that I could get my hotel accommodations. Guess what,
And
guys? When I called the number the third time, I couldn't get that number again. it was out of reach. I'm gonna, okay, that that doesn't look right. So then I called the other number, the backup number. No answer. That was Wednesday before the Thursday for us to sign that contract. You should have seen me. I bought new hair, new dress. Look at this, I'm gonna be signing a contract. I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna be, interviewing. I'm gonna be a role model for the people who want, to do this, to see that I came from nothing and I got somewhere and I'm able to help people navigate. I had so many hopes. And Baptist, when I called, I was tired. Something in me, it came to realization this was not happening. So you know what your girl did?
Talk to me. I want to hear everything you did.
So I said to my, after I got up the Thursday that was supposed to be the interview and everything, I don't know. Something inside of me was like, Cindy, 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 Cindy. I prayed, I cried, I felt depressed, but I said, no, you are going down to that place in Manhattan.
So you went to the original publisher. So, all right, let's back up a little bit, okay? Pause a second, okay? So everything so far looked legit.
Legit.
They had the business letterhead.
Yes.
The letter they sent you.
Yes.
They had names of people who are in the publishing industry.
Yes.
And they had names of executives at the big publishing house. These were the names that they were using. They were not using like Tom or Joe or Larry. They found out who those top executives were, who those big agents were. And one of the ways I deciphered that code for you was the email address. Remember, I told you that. And I went and I did some kind of reverse search to figure it out.
Okay.
And the email address for all of those places always ends either in the company's last name, company's name, but none of them were in the company's name. They were all at gmail.com. But they used the real people's names at gmail.com.
Yes.
But any correspondent from that big publisher is in that publisher's name. The email address is like .thatpublisher.com, not .gmail.com.
Exactly. So I was oblivious to that until you said it. But anyway, fast forward, after I went to New York, I said, Cindy, you're not going to sit there. After I was depressed, I cried. I felt betrayed. I felt ashamed of myself. Because for somebody who liked to do their research and their background, and at that time I had so many things going for me, and I think they prayed on that as well. I had so many things going on for me. So I was ashamed of myself. I said, what the heck? I said, you're not a stupid person. How could you let this happen to you? I started to come down on myself. And then I went to sleep and I prayed and I said, get up and fight. That was the attitude that I had the next day. And I went down to the company we're talking about, the third largest company. And then I asked, I said, excuse me, I'm supposed to be here for book signing, to sign an acquisition contract. Now, mind you, they would not let me get anywhere past the security, right? But your girl was determined. I said, I said, I'm supposed to meet so and so. And I know they had cameras in there. So I was nice. I was just, so I said, listen, I'm supposed to be here to sign a contract with so and so as my literary agent. So I just came to check to see if that has taken place yet. He said, okay, let me check. He said, ma'am, your name is not on the books for any meeting yesterday or today. I said, what about so and so? No, we don't have her there as well. I said, so okay. He asked me, who's your point of contact? I said, well, this is Mr. So and so. Okay. The reason why I'm not mentioning him is because you advised me not to. So
I
I'm
told
listening
you
to you.
not. I
Yes.
told you not to. I did.
Yes.
I told you
Yes.
not to.
So I said, he said, yes, he's in the office. This man is in the office. But because you are not on there to come in the building. You don't have an appointment. We cannot let you in to see him. And hats off. I wish I remember that man's name. But he tried everything he could because I showed him my book. I showed him the letter that was sent to me. I sent him the names, you know? And then he said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. We can let you go up in the building because your name is not. You were never scheduled to be here for a book signing. So, in other words, we don't know you.
Crushing.
Baptist. I could have started crying at that moment. She said, why don't you call your literary agent who gave you this information? So I called 3 times. On the third call, I could not reach that number again.
Completely disconnected.
So if I have to check the trip that the person paid for me back and forth, my lodging, all the monies that I pay for all of the things they asked me to, in excess of over $4,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money that I did not have, and that the people who helped me did not have either. They were helping me because everybody wants to see me succeed, because most people who know me know what I've been through. I don't lie to people. I don't tell people my life is one way and it is not. What you see here is what you get. I come with my nice wig and my smile, and I'm a very jovial person. You understand? I will not tell you how money I don't have. And if I ask something, it's because I need it, Baptist. You understand?
I get it. I completely get it.
And so when that happened to me, I'm gonna, what the hell? So when I started to put things back, when started to put things into perspective, and I realized all the things he had asked me, and I went on Writers Beware again, and I understood that they were they got all of these things from me because they wanted to republish my book and take all the credits for my book. Now, I don't know if they're watching, anybody's going to watch this later on.
Oh, they probably will.
I am not backing down. This is my life's work. This is my legacy for my children. This is the rapings, the molestations, the abuses, the denials, the cheatings, the depression, the suicide, all in that book. When life stood in silence, it belongs to Cindy Placide, and you are not gonna get away with it. That's my message to you. I'm coming.
Yeah, you told me you were coming. All right. So tonight is just Facebook Live or YouTube, and everyone who wants to view it that way can view it. What other methods have you reached out or media in order to try to get the word out about scamming in the publishing industry?
Well, the first thing that I did before I did all of that, I did not realize that I did not have my copyright to my book.
Oh, you did
So
not?
no. So after all of this happened, the Friday, I called up the bank when I came back, and I told them what happened. And I told them that I just gave them the story. And the lady, imagine, I called the first representative, the phone cut off. I called back, I couldn't get a person. When I called the second time, I got this lady, the phone cut off. She called me back.
She did.
Yes, she did. So I put a fraud alert on my I put a fraud request, right? So when I did that, they they it's not this season, but
They froze, right?
they froze. They
Yes.
froze the people's account. So they called me with another number, shaking. One of the people that I remembered I sent $400 for my book, my press release. That was supposed to be for the press release. She said the person who contacted her was my literary agent. She did write a press release for my literary agent who never I never got the press release. Okay? So when I called the bank froze their account. So she called me and she actually begging me, please ask the bank to unfreeze the account. And I said, I will help you. But first, you got to do something for me. You got to call me on video call, number one, and you got to give me back my press release because I paid for it and I haven't gotten to it. She stayed on the phone with me for almost 1 hour, crying and trembling. I'm going to lose my company. This is da 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 da. When I look over all the books that I paid and the names that she gave me so much information. She didn't realize I was paying attention. They are affiliated.
So there was a team of people working together to scam you.
Yes.
So the bank froze the account.
Yes.
Have the bank reached out to you again or no?
I reached out to them and I told them what happened. So they said they're still investigating it. They are still investigating it. But since I got a service, I paid for a service that was not rendered to me, then
So they're
they
doing the
yes,
investigation. So let me
yes,
ask you. I think this question just popped up in my head. How did they require you to pay them? Western Union
no,
or bank transfer?
bank transfer.
Okay. So there's a trail, right?
There's a trail.
There's a paper trail of who's
Yes.
receiving that money. So your
And
bank is doing that investigation. Did you ask the bank to get you your money back because it's fraud?
yes, I
Okay,
did.
you did.
Let me tell you something. If you don't know anything about me, I will tell you this. I keep paper trails.
You
If
got
you thi- if you think it's going to get lost, I will screenshot it and send it to somebody.
you was not my mom, man. My mom keep all kinds of paper. Paper
Yes,
from like 1970. She still keeps a copy of it. I'm
yeah,
like, Lord have mercy.
yes. So I have all the calls and I have everything.
So you have a log. You have a
Yes,
call log, you have an
yes,
email log,
yes,
and you have the bank transfer log that
yes,
you were able to share with the
yes,
bank so that you could track what was happening.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did they give you a time frame as to when they'll get back to you?
Probably this is like about 70 days, 60 days, sorry, from anywhere from 30 to 60 days. So I did reach out to them. They said this, just give them it. It's you're still working on it. Yeah. And when they heard that, the lady calls me and asked me to to call the bank to write a written. I'm going like, do you know when I said, lady, do you know where I am? I said, do you realize that I am stuck in New York? I cannot go back. I have a 16-year-old autistic son who needs me. And because I'm waiting for somebody to pay my ticket to go back home after I came to New York to sign a contract that never happened. You asking me? I said, no.
So what did she have to say about that? They asked you to come to New York because I'm getting a little like I'm not a little upset. I've been upset throughout this whole process with you.
Yeah.
All right, from the moment like we found out it was like a big scam,
Yeah.
and so what did she have to say for herself? How did she justify her actions
She
of getting?
said her thing to me was this. The literary agent called her and asked her to write a press release for her. So she did the press release, and within weeks, she gave it to the literary agent. And the literary agent paid her the money. But then where the lie is, because when she told me who she was, And the person that I had spoken to before, not the same person. And when she told me who she was, okay, and I checked the log, it was her that I paid.
So she's impersonating someone else as well. So that's how the scam work. All
Yeah.
right. So all of you out there, my Lucian people, my island people, all of you, like, like trying to figure out this whole publishing thing work out, right? There's lots of scams happening. Okay. There's I'm not gonna say, if you don't feel like, if you don't feel empowered to self-publish your work, know that you are going to put money out there, put money up front out there to do the to get your book published, and you're going to have to buy hundreds of copies of those books, and you're going to hit a farmer's market, you're going to hit a garage sale, mom and pop shop. You have to be the one to do everything for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, on the flip side of it, when it's traditionally published, there's a marketing team at those publishing houses who takes that load off of you. I'm not saying you are scotch free and you ain't gonna do anything for your book. You still have to go out there. You still have to put a face, because as an author, and a book like yours is like, you are the book. You are the
Mm-hmm.
face of the book. When you speak about the book, people are drawn to you because of the message that you are presenting and you're putting out there into the world. Okay. So, buyer beware. What do you want to do? So, that's a question I'm going to pose to all of you listening today. Do you want to self publish and pay for it yourself and then try to recoup your money that way? Or you want to wait a little while, learn the craft, and fail and fail and fail until you succeed, and then you get paid for your work? Okay. There are different ways of doing that. So you have to choose the path that is right for you. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying I'm against self-publishing. I am not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I will not self-publish. I will stick
And
to the traditional route. And that's
I
what I'm promising you. Traditional publishing. It's like a dream for everybody to go to
yes,
publishing, traditionally published path.
and Baptist, I had seen, I know myself, I know my capabilities. You see, sometimes when you're growing, you're trying to find yourself. But in the process of all my grief and everything, losing my mom, losing my brothers, losing my daughter, losing so many people close to me, going through so much hardship in this country, I found myself, and I found out what I want to do. I don't believe that I'm here just to be served. I don't want to be served. I want to serve others. I want to make a contribution, because a lot of people have helped me since I've been in this country, way back home and in this country. And I want to make a contribution. And I thought this was going to be my big break. I was going to help my dad. I was going to help my family. I was going to help myself, you know? And that could have broken me to the point of no return, knowing that I had nothing and they took what I had. And I was skeptical about this. You know why? Because a lot of companies are calling me for that particular book. A lot of companies are calling me, and I keep saying no. The amount of calls I get from a day practice is too much. I have to put scam alert on my phone. And so when that opportunity arose, I saw myself being able to help other people, advancing the things that I want to do more. And then they try to take not just the money. Money comes and it goes. But when you are going to infringe on my legacy or what is due to my children, I become like a ram. Like I got, it's only horns you see in red.
You become a ram. So when you, yeah, infringing on your intellectual property, that's
Yes.
your right, your books. And I am glad you actually took steps to copyright the book and put everything in your name so no one else can claim that
Mm-hmm.
portion of it. So I'm
Yep.
glad you did that. So how you feeling right now? Because you have gotten a lot out here. And you said a lot to your audience right now. And some of the people listening have no idea what you've gone through, some of your struggles, and the publishing journey. It's not easy. Getting a book published is not easy. It's a lot of
Baptist, I have lost so much money in this publishing industry. And that's why I stopped like cold turkey. I'm going like, I'm just gonna go ahead and write my book if somebody pick up my book. And that I thought that was my opportunity. But you know what, Baptist? I'm just getting started.
So you ain't done with them yet.
Oh heck to the no.
All right.
Because next, on your advice, I did not mention names today. That's not promise I'm not gonna mention names
No,
later.
no, I know why I said that to
I
you.
know you know,
Yeah, I know exactly
and
why.
I trust you.
Yes, I
I
told you.
trust you.
Um, as we move forward, I will work with you on trying to figure out when and how we're gonna go about getting some of those names out there. But we'll
Mhm.
have to do some more digging to try to uncover who those real people behind the mask are. Because most of the scams happen like people hiding behind a screen or phone
Mhm.
and pretending to be someone else. There's tons of these going on every single day. People are getting scammed.
I
So,
am not
so the message is, if it's too good
to be true, then it's not true.
true, then there's an issue. If you have that little voice or that little person standing on your shoulder saying, there must be something off with this. There gotta be something off with this. For real though, people. So you gotta listen to that little voice in your head. It's your
Yes.
consciousness. Your voice is your voice of reason speaking to you. So you
Yes.
gotta listen to this. You gotta listen to this.
One of the things that I want from you guys, okay, because the fight is on. I wanted my platform and my friend, okay, and brother to be the first person to tell my story to share on my platform. Now, I'm gonna right now I've reached out to 3 different radio stations and I'm just getting started. I'm digging deep and I'm finding answers. Not for profit, not for money. But you know why? There are too many of us out there who are getting burnt by those scammers. And if I could just help just a little group of us, I've accomplished a lot.
So what
I
are your
felt
next
it.
what are your
Was
next
that
what are your next steps? I know
my
you reach
next?
out yeah, I know you reach out to the radio station. Keep going.
Mhm.
Give me the list of next steps you have on the
Next step, I'm going to go on TV stations. I've already made contact with the company that the name was used. I have already made contact with the literary agent that her name was used. Okay? And I'm following up on some other leads.
So what are you hoping to accomplish by doing this?
That somebody else will not fall into the same trap that I did. That people are going to be aware of these things in the industry. A lot of us have a passion for writing. All of us want to be published authors. People have reached out to me and told me they want to write a book, and it's a beautiful thing to write a book. It is. You know that, Baptist.
No, I know, and because I've been doing this for a while,
Yes.
and I kind of take that for granted. But a
Yeah.
friend of mine in Philly said, like, hey, dude, this is special what you are doing. It's like not everybody can get up to that point. And I'm like, it's
Mhm.
just a regular day of work for me. And I don't see it as like something special. But she said, like, this is special. You have to let the world know all the amazing things you're doing. I'm like, I'm just a regular guy, you know? And I never did, like I said, like shameless promotion
Mhm.
until a friend said to me, like, you know what, man, you gotta do those things because you have a positive message out there. Your books are amazing. You want to share that with the world. And that's the only way people will know about you and invite you to come speak for their organizations, their schools, whatever, you know? and
Baptist.
I've been taking that advice.
Hmm. They have messed with the wrong author.
I kind of have a feeling that they really did, and they don't even know what's coming up next. So I know we just have like a few minutes left. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to in the audience? Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Any
Hey,
questions from the audience
who's
that we can
who's
address?
here? I want to give a shout out to. I don't know who's watching me. You know.
You don't know?
I want to give a shout out to everyone that's watching me tonight because I don't even know what. There's so many people, but there is my brother Nixon who's gonna be on my show in the next week. I want to give a shout out, and I'll give a shout out to um Mr. Celestine. I want to give a shout out and to Ninfia. And I want to give a shout out to all of those authors who are striving
I know
to
the
get
name
their book out.
Nymphia. I
Hold on,
know that
Baptist.
name.
Yeah.
I am
Let me
just
let me
trying.
finish giving my shout out. Okay.
Okay,
I want to give a shout out to all the authors out there who are trying to get their work out there and who are getting eaten up alive by those vultures. Do not be discouraged. Don't let anybody steal what you have, your talent. Okay? Fight for what you need. So shout out to all of those inspiring authors and writers and poets. Okay? Shout out to all of y'all who put in the work out there. Okay? Let me tell you one thing I was thinking about, Baptist. Sometimes when people hear we have an accent, they think we're stupid. Sometimes they feel, well, I can get, because this person is so mild tempered, I can do what I want. Cindy Placid is calm and she's humble, but she knows how to fight. And I don't fight with fans. I know how to fight with fans,
I guess
but
they've
I
not
don't
met,
fight.
I guess they've not met me yet, right?
I don't fight with fans. I know how to fight. I know how to stand up for myself. Me, when somebody does something to me, when I stay quiet, it's because I know when I'm angry, I'm not the same person. So I'd rather take it and let it go and rather somebody call me a coward. But this one, it'll go past.
I think you're doing the right thing right now with this one. You are reaching out, you are making the connections, but at the same time, you are cautiously taking next steps in order
Mhm.
to get all the information out there correctly, and
Yep.
don't drop names like I talked to you about. And there's a particular reason why I said don't drop names.
Yes.
Okay, we will visit that later on after this is over. Okay,
Yes.
after this live
Yeah.
feed ends, then I will revisit this again.
Yeah.
Um,
So to my resilient risers, I'm going to tell you this. I want you to do something for me. I've never asked you guys for money. I will not ask you guys for money. I only ask for your support. Okay? I am asking that each of you who know me and know my work, I'm not asking that you go buy a book. That would be nice if you get the book and know that you have seen this book and support me. But if you could just take a picture and say that I know this person and this is the person who wrote that book. I'm starting a campaign to let everybody know that I am the author of this book because, again, they have my chapter outline, they have about the author, they have the synopsis of the book. So they can do anything with it. I am on a mission to fight back to gain what is mine.
Girl, you are so kind. I would say go out and buy your book. That's what I'm gonna tell all the people out listening tonight. Just
Okay.
go out and support her that way. Buy her book, That's the way she can pay her bills and take care of her children. And that's the way we island people support each other instead of us being divided. You
Mm-hmm.
can go out and buy her book. Invite her to come speak at your school and share her story, share her message because she has a positive message. I'm not even saying invite me, invite her, to come to your school. Reach out, connect. You want both of us? Do it. We'll come. I will go
Yep.
about anywhere where we can share book love with anybody around the world. So we can do that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just us. So I want you out there to go on Amazon and purchase her book and just support her that way. You
Or
said
you
like
can,
photo. I say you
or you
just
can,
buy the book.
yeah, please, like he said, go buy the book. Or you can go to my website, cindyplacid.com, and just get the book, and you can get it signed. My autograph. Yes. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's how we do it. Like, we got to show support for each other. There's the one thing like a lot of people usually say about like black people, or, or people from the islands. Like, we are our worst enemy. Like, we don't support each other. We like fight down each other. And that's typical St. Lucian slang right there. We fight down each other. I just don't want to hear those words anymore, because we don't do that to each other. We want to encourage each other. We want to support
mhm.
each other, you know? And
Yeah.
that's my mission. Like, I will share what I know about the literary world with my people.
Mhm.
I will share my knowledge, and I will be someone to help open doors for people on the island, especially people who grew up like us, who walk to school barefoot, who ain't got none. Sometimes we went to bed, our bellies were not full. You
I
know,
know, right? Just growling, right?
but we survived, right? We survived.
Yes.
And I want to be there as a source of inspiration. I'm not saying you guys just flood my inbox or go to my website and send me tons of questions about everything, right?
Mhm.
You know,
And Baptist, you know what I think we should do? We should have a forum like this. I think we talked about it before, but we never got it because life got in the way. But I think we should have a forum where a webinar where we can have, people come on and ask questions. Because today I didn't really answer questions and we just talked. You understand? So the story could get out there. But I think we should really have at least one night, whether in your studio or my studio, we could give them advice as to what the do's and the don'ts in the industry and how they can protect themselves.
oh, there are tons. There are tons. That's like a
Mm,
2 hour, 3 hour show. I'm
mhm.
saying total, because there's a lot of information that
So we can break it down.
we can break it down. Okay.
Mhm.
Even like talking about like writing a manuscript, it's not as easy as we think it is.
Yeah.
There's the editing process. There's like illustrations for the illustrator. There's like writing a query letter, contacting agents, writing a elevator pitch. So you can sell your work to anybody in like 2 minutes. You can tell them exactly what your book is about, because that's all you have. There's so much we can do.
And as you say, Ned Baptist, I remember the nights I went to bed 3 o'clock in the morning, writing that chapter outline and writing the synopsis, and it wasn't good enough. And I'm gonna go through all of that, and you're scamming me.
Yeah, man. Some people are relentless, and they just
So
don't care.
yeah,
It's
so 2.5 years.
it's
Two and
great.
a half years she befriended me so that she could just get the money. I'm
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, it's great, man. It's great. Like, some people, I won't say they don't have a soul, but I think they are ruled by money, and they don't think about other people. And that is a problem. Being ruled by
Yes.
money, you lose your humanity in the process. I'm not saying having money is a bad thing.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
like, you just got to think about people first. Always put
Mm-hmm.
people first, and approach every situation with grace. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what situation you're in, approach it with grace. And I like the fact that you are doing this right now. You're approaching it with a lot of grace, a lot of calm, and that shows a lot of growth on your path, because a lot of people could be royally pissed off, pardon my language, because of what happened to them, because they've lost so much money, they've been taken. And you go to New York, you do all of that stuff, you try to meet with the publisher, you don't have your name on the schedule, as like you are nobody, and you got taken away. So you can be really angry and upset, but I want you to use that anger and use that rage you have inside for all good. All
Yep.
good. That's all
Yep.
you got to do. And all of you, we call them resilient, right? Resilient,
Resilient risers.
resilient risers out there. That is my message for you guys too. Like, when situations arise in life that creates doubt and causes you to think twice about things, just use all of that negative energy and be a ball of sunshine and create something amazing out of it, because you, at the end of the day, go be better for it. You're going to be a way better person for it. You cannot fight hate with hate. It's
No.
only love.
Yes. So Martha, Modest Glam Martha, she said, I'm proud of how this queen is dealing with this. And oh well, we have a few comments. Marshall Celestin said, sending you lots of hugs. Nilke said hello. I
What's
didn't
up,
realize
Marshall?
yeah, yeah, we were talking. I didn't realize all these comments were coming in. And then Martha said, I'm proud of how this queen is dealing with this. And Martha said, who is our guest? Our guest is Baptist Paul. He's an award-winning children's book author. Okay. And he's from the beautiful island of St. Lucia, from Grace like me. Okay.
From Grace, yeah.
That's
From Grace.
my friend. Okay, that's my friend. Yeah, so I would like you to leave some last comments for our viewers, our resilient risers, because this has been really liberating for me that I'm able to speak about it, and you were able to bring out some of the stuff for me. But I'm telling you, Baptist, this experience has opened my eyes so much. I I feel like at some point I was a little bit naive about everything, but at the same time, I believe that God allowed me to go to New York, even if all the odds were against me, because I felt that if I did not go to New York Baptist, I would have not been able to put it together that they were trying to steal my work.
You know what
And
I'm
they
you know what I'm
was
grateful for?
mm,
I'm grateful for you. For the fact that you reached out to me to ask for advice on what I think you should do. And when you were in doubt, you reached out. I am grateful for you for that, because you know I would never steer you in the wrong direction.
yeah.
Okay, I am grateful that you did that. And I will
Thank you.
give you the best advice I have any single time about publishing or writing a book, whatever. You still owe me a manuscript I got to read for you, though.
Oops. Okay.
You still owe me one, right?
I'll
I'm
get
waiting.
it
I'm still waiting for that manuscript.
to
Yeah.
you. But thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. And ever since I found out that when I found out that you were what you were writing children's book, I was elated because I know where we came from. I know how hard we went to school together, you know? And I always tell people I really love, I really love to push, I really love to promote our people. I love I love people. And that's one of the reasons why this experience was so hard for me, because I'm going like, I just try to help. And it's almost like the more I try to help, the more people try to bring me down. But like my Mafarati said, I'm a queen. And queens don't just jump off their phone at the little bit of challenge.
Who said that, Martha?
No, Mafa said she likes the way that I'm handling, but she said I'm a queen, right? So I'll
Absolutely.
say this queen right here, this queen will not just jump off her throne just for a bit of challenge. Baptist, we've been speaking for a long time. What hasn't this world thrown at me?
I mean, you've gone through a lot, though. You've gone through a lot in life, and you are still resilient. You are still strong, and you are still putting positive vibes out into this world and encouraging people to be the best. You
Yeah.
know, you are not bitter. You are not sour about anything. Of all the things you've gone through in life, you none of that. So keep on doing you, girl. And you always got someone who got your back. You know how
Thank
to
you.
get a hold of me. You know, not too many people in the world have my phone number, but you do.
We always, when we're on the phone, we always laughing, we always
Yeah,
cracking up.
that's a
But
closely guarded phone number, so I don't give that to anybody.
yes, yes. But thank you so much, Baptist. I appreciate you coming on here and talking to me. I believe when I called you, that was a blessing, because when you said, okay, I want to, because I don't know what I would have said when I came on here.
Oh,
I
you
probably
do
would have
know.
been stealing people's names like crazy.
When did you call me? Yesterday, right?
Yes.
You called me yesterday, and he's like, "I need to do this." I'm like, "Hold on, let's put the brakes on for a little bit. Let's think about this logically." and
Yes.
let's proceed cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
And we did. No
We
name
did.
dropping, but
Mm-hmm.
when we figure out the next steps, I will let you know when you can start putting names out there. But we need to do some other research still.
Yes. Yes. So, to all of you, I say thank you so much for being on here on this special, special night of Poetry and Perspective with Placide. We all are immune to the wickedness. We are not immune to the wickedness this world has to offer. We just got to be on our guard, learn from each other, learn the positives as well as the negatives, and be on our P's and Q's when it comes to these scammers out there who are trying to break us up. And they can scam you for so many different reasons just because they want to.
Yeah, just because they feel like. So here's my last message. Go out
Yeah,
and buy Cindy's book. Support Cindy. That's my last bit of message to you guys. Invite her to come speak, okay? And if you guys invite me, it's a bonus. Or
that's
you
right.
buy my book, that's a bonus. But buy Cindy's book. That's the way you can show some love. I mean, some serious love. Share her website with friends. Share her book with friends. Say, hey, you gotta reach out. You gotta buy this young lady's book, right? Because it has a positive message. That's the way we're gonna make it, right? Don't go download it for free because she still has to, bills to pay, right? You still got stuff to do. So
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm being
So,
straight up honest, like we just can't be cheap and say we are not supporting each other. Like we go out to Starbucks, we spend $20 on a cup of coffee. Why can't we
mhm,
buy a book? Why can't we
yeah.
buy your book? It's a treasure, it's a gift that's gonna last a lifetime. You
Hmm.
can throw that on like 2 cups of coffee in like 2 days.
Hmm.
Right? So give up 2 cups of coffee and buy in this book. You
Yes.
know,
You heard him. What he said.
no one's gonna die if they give up 2 cups of coffee and just buy your book and support you.
What he said. But thank you so much, Baptist. I really appreciate you. And after this, we are going to talk a little bit more because Mafa said, I like this man. Don't download it for free.
She said she likes
Not
it.
Natalie said, keep strong, Cindy. God's got you. Absolutely, he does.
All right, all of my Lucian people and all of my island people out there, love you guys, man.
We love you guys. And then you are going to see some more of us because we are working together. We're going to be working together. And listen, I am open for speaking gigs. Okay.
I gotta get on there with Marshall. Marshall and I, the three of us, gotta be on there at some point.
Yes. So we're
So
going to make it
Marshall,
happen.
big up, bro. Love you, man. Always, always love you. I know you're doing a lot of
Absolutely.
good things out in this world.
Amen.
All right.
Well, we got to go. Have a good night, resilient risers. And remember, never let failure be your finality. No matter what life throws at you, throw it back at it 10 times and say, I got this. Pop
Okay.
up your chest, stand up firm and say, I got this.
I got
And
this.
rise above your challenges.
All right, Cindy, thanks for having me. I am grateful that I interviewed you tonight. Maybe I
Same here.
should do that more often. Like, if you ever need someone to interview a guest on your show, hit me up during my travel. Yeah, when I'm traveling a lot, I
I'm
will make time
holding you
to
to
interview
it.
guests for you.
I'm holding you to it.
Ooh.
Have
No,
a good night, guys.
I want to interview Marshall on your show.
You heard that, Marsha? We coming for you.
Yeah, I want to interview Marshall on your show.
But Baptist, before we go, I am looking for male. What am I thinking? I'm thinking for the male gender, okay? For men to talk about mental health and suicide and anything that is happening with them. So I will need your help with that.
Oh,
I need a
yes,
few guests,
yes, yes,
including yourself.
yes, for sure. Whenever you're ready. Okay. I'll get some things working for you, get some people lined up for you. And yeah, it's a great topic to talk about. Like, it's not
Mhm.
a taboo topic. Like, it's real. Mental health is a real challenge, it's a real problem. And we all go through it in life, and even though we grew up on the island where they say, like, boys don't cry, you just suck it up and deal with it. you know, and all of those things do have an impact on who we become as men in this life, in our
Mm-hmm.
relationships, how we handle situations. All of those little things that happen to us growing up plays a big
Mm-hmm.
part, and it affects your mental health. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna say like, I have not struggled
Mm-hmm.
with, my mental health. I am not saying that. But the good thing is like you just gotta find the right strategies and the right coping mechanisms that works for you. There's one thing like my therapist told me a couple months back, and she said to me like, when you think about all the negative things that have happened to you in certain places and situations, right? She's like, I want you to go back to all of those places, but we're going to start with one specific place at a time. And I want you to find something positive to associate with that place and focus on the positive. And it says, once you start focusing on all the positives, those negatives will be there, but your mind, you got to retrain your mind to think about the positive in those areas. And
Wow.
I'm going to challenge you guys to do the same. And I think this has been like, I would say it has been a blessing for me. It has been life changing for me when it comes to mental health, you know, because we all go through a lot every single day.
Every day.
I'm always happy, I'm always bubbly, but we all got issues. And if you
Mm-hmm.
say you ain't got issues, then you got problems.
You are perfect man, and
Yeah,
there's nobody perfect in this world.
now you got problems. If you say you don't
Mm-hmm.
got issues, you got problems. And then
Yeah.
you need to figure out why you don't have issues, because we
Mm-hmm.
all got issues.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much. So much. Somebody was just joining in, Loanga Isidore. Thank you
Hey,
so
Luana,
much.
what's up, girl?
Yeah, thank you so much for being here in Poetry and Perspective with Placid. Listen, guys, do not do not be silenced. I could have stayed and don't talk about this and just stay in the shadows. I'm going like, oh my gosh, everybody will look at me crazy. But what would be the use of me staying silent? So don't allow anybody to bridle your mouth when something happened to you. You need to speak up because you can help somebody else. I love you guys. And Baptist, I love you even more.
Girl, I love you too. I
So
always do.
join us on Thursday night. Thursday night we're going to have a special. We have two amazing guests on Poetry and Perspective this passage this week. We have an autism dad who has faced un, unspeakable turmoil with his autistic son. And this is we hear about the women, but we don't hear about the men and the challenges, the single dads and challenges that they face. So join us on Thursday with him. And on Friday, I'm gonna have my cousin. She's a sergeant in the US Army. And she has gone through unspeakable things in uniform. And so she'll be here to tell you about it. Do not miss Thursday and Friday. Do not miss it. I promise you guys, I do deliver. And you all are going to learn so much. So come back in 2 days, okay? 2 days. Have a good night, my resilient risers. Stay blessed and never, ever be silent. I love you guys.